Good evening. This is Lena and John, and we're just having a little. Hi, John. What's the matter? You fluster me a little bit, honey, because I didn't know we was gonna be talking a little bit tonight on camera. Well, we are talking on camera tonight because It's the third night of the full moon, and you can kind of see. No, you can't really see it, but it's out there. I believe it's September 4th. What is this? I don't even know. Yeah, I think so. And it's a very beautiful night here in Queens, New York. And Johnny, we're talking about victory. Right, we're talking about victory. Spiritual victory. And we were talking just a little while ago to Christopher over dinner. We had a really nice dinner with Christopher tonight. He made some beautiful roasted eggplant. Yeah, that was great. Tomatoes. Just a great dinner. And Christopher said that he imagined, we were saying, what is the concept of real victory down here on earth, right? Yes. And excuse me, Lena. That's all right. Let me take over a little. I will let you take over. Christopher stated that victory, certainly for John Lennon, must have been that the equated victory, ultimate victory, to being a picture of the Beatles getting off the plane in their first journey to America, and he said that is those were the faces of victory. John especially smiled and waved at the crowd. That looked victorious. And I said, that really wasn't the most victorious moment that I can recall in my lifetimes here as a spirit and a traveler, a journeyman in the spiritual realm and on earth. And I said that my biggest moment of victory. Oh, this is really emotional, isn't it? Yes, it is. My biggest moment of victory, I believe, I don't know, they come now fast and furious because our connection is so very powerful, And we have so many great conversations, and we do so many things to help other people as we communicate our journey together now as twin flame ascensionists. But my biggest moment of victory was when I burst through the dimensional walls and got Lena's attention here on the earthly realm back in 2014, when I actually was able to make her hear me and acknowledge me, speak to me and answer me the way we now communicate as the norm. That was the most victorious I have ever felt. The fact that I could succeed on that level of pulverizing those walls and crossing those dimensional bridges, it reaffirmed my faith in the creators and made me realize that really anything is possible, that magic is and can be just a regular part of everyone's lives. But one must persevere, one must keep their eye on the prize, and one must never lose faith. Yeah, that was an amazing, this such a, we're talking, and I just said, John, I really want to put this on film because it's such a beautiful statement. And for John to say that that was his biggest victory in being able to finally communicate and get through to me is such a beautiful sentiment and such a valuable thing for me to hear him say. But it also made me remember a story, because he tried to get through to me many, many times over the years, but I was so blocked, and I was always running around like a headless chicken. My whole life, I was working so many jobs. I was a substance abuser. I was involved in so many different activities all the time. It's like I didn't allow myself to even stop for a minute. That's how I conducted my life from, from a very early age, because I was like always on the run from all kinds of demons that haunted me. Not the least of them being that John had been assassinated, and that, that was like a pulverizing uh, situation that my mind refused really to process for a long, long time. Mm. So he was trying to get through to me because he is a astoundingly... Show that painting, Lena. That's us at Neptune. Yeah, that is nice. Mm. I really love the artwork. Yeah, it's fun to look at it. Mm. And one time, when because I'm a singer and songwriter, and one time I lost my voice back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. I lost my voice. It was in the late 80s. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I went and I found this vocal coach, and his name was Jerry Brannigan, and he was like the most famous vocal coach in Manhattan, and his offices were in the top floors of the Ed Sullivan Theater, right? The same theater where the Beatles, yeah. Okay. I was so upset at that time because my voice was shot, and my voice was shot for a lot of reasons. I was a smoker, but mostly I was very stressed out, and I got this terrible case of laryngitis. And so I went to this Ed Sullivan Theater, and I went to this vocal coach, Jerry Brannigan, and I started seeing him. And I went to him several times, and he taught me all these exercises, and I healed up my voice. He was a good vocal coach. But John was trying to get my attention back then. I think it was 1988 or 89. And go ahead, John, you tell it better. I was trying to... It was so frustrating because she was channeling me all the time and she didn't realize it. And I was trying to get her attention as she walked in front of this theater with her then husband, this guy she was married to then. And I was so frustrated that she was not acknowledging the Ed Sullivan Theater, the very place where the Beatles did their monumental American debut, that I pushed her. I physically pushed her from the other realm. Yeah, and he pushed me so hard that I went flying through the air right in front of the front doors of the Ed Sullivan Theater on the sidewalk, and I landed on both knees. And I thought that someone, like a mugger or somebody, that's how hard John pushed me from the other side. I thought a mugger or something had come up behind me and thrown me to the ground. Mm-hmm. And when I looked up and saw that no one was there except for my husband, Steve, at the time, I was like, what the fuck happened? And Steve said, looked at me in shock, and he was like, what the fuck happened? How did you do that? How did you, you went flying through the air? What? There was nothing to even trip over. He saw me fly through the air, okay, people? In front of the Ed Sullivan Theater in the middle of Manhattan and land on both knees. And, I thought I broke my kneecaps. The one knee was never the same after that. I'm sorry, Lena. But guess who did that? That was me, John. And as soon as I did it, I thought, oh God, I am dangerous to her. I have such, because I still had a terrible temper on the other side, and I still can display a temper here. I'm still the same soul. I still have issues. But back in the 80s, when I was so frustrated and I was trying to get her attention, I actually lost my cool and I sent her flying and almost broke her legs. And it terrified me. And I thought, I've got to back off. I've got to back off. I'm following her around too much. She's all stressed out. She doesn't know why. She's losing her voice. And now I've thrown her on the ground. Folks, this happens, okay? We were answering questions the other day from someone on Quora. Do spirits get frustrated on the... Yeah, we do. And we're also capable of doing harm out of our frustration, not because we want to hurt those that we love, but because we do get frustrated. Yeah, so that's pretty amazing, right? And I never forgot that, because when you go down like that, you don't forget that. But I could never explain it to myself in my mind. How on earth did that happen? Because it honestly felt like someone had really pushed me hard, like barreled into me from behind and sent me crashing through the air and down on both knees. Bizarre. And that was John. And she forgives me for that because she loves me, right, honey? Yes, I do forgive you for that. And it amazes me. More than anything, it amazes me the power of the spirits on the other side and what they're capable of. But okay, so just another reminder of why you don't want to screw around with Ouija boards or with anything from the occult that you're not familiar with. I never did stuff like that. John was just trying to get through to me because we were already connected, and the only thing separating us was the veil, because we had connected down here on Earth before he crossed over. So, that connection was strong, and he always held. Yes, I held on. I held on to it really, really by myself, honest to God, because when I was assassinated, she let go. She let go. Not for any other reason. It was self-preservation, because I know my assassination sent her spiraling. Well, everyone in the world thinks that my assassination sent them spiraling too. Maybe in some ways it did, but not in the same way that it would for Lena, because she and I are twin flames, and that's a whole different storybook. That's a whole different library. Right, so he threw me on the floor. And then did you back off? I didn't. I helped you write songs, yes. I did feel a lot of inspiration in those days, and I wrote a lot of great music and recorded a lot of great music, played in a lot of great bands, and was very progressive in my music career for many years. And I always felt like I had a guardian angel, but I didn't dare believe that it was you, John. That was me. I know now. Yeah. I know that now. It's so weird, though, well, anyway, so we're together now and everything's great. And I love you. And I love you, too. And this was a fun story to relay, sort of. But again, you try to pay attention, because if you have loved ones, they are trying to get through to you. You should know that, and see what, as long as you work under the protection of God and Mother God. All right, so that was how many years ago was that? I think that video was at least 2 years ago or something. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember when we. Oh no, it had to be more. because we were on Daily Motion, right? That video, we made that. Pardon me, honey. Yeah. Don't fuck up. I'm trying not to. Just wanna. I'm doing balancing act. So we wanted to show that for the anniversary of the Ed Sullivan Theater, which was February 9th, yesterday. And so we're running on a little bit of a later schedule, but we'll be doing some Q&A on our reconnection and John's February 9th, 1964 appearance with the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, making history, taking America by storm. And again, that was a little clip from our Daily Motion days, I think 2017, yeah, when we were talking about the time you almost broke my legs in front of the Ed Sullivan Theater. You're welcome. Thank you, Johnny. Talio, we got things to do. All right, praise be God and Mother. We will be around. Yeah.